The world is rapidly warming as a result of human activities. The average temperature is now 1.1 to 1.3 degrees Celsius higher than it was in the 19th century, and climate change is threatening every aspect of life on Earth. What is climate change? Climate is the average weather conditions over many years. The planet's climate is warming as a result of human use of oil and gas in cars, homes, and factories. Burning of these fossil fuels emits greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide, which trap the sun's heat, resulting in a rise in the average temperature. If no immediate action is taken, there will be catastrophic consequences, including flooding, drought, and mass extinction of species. If the current rise in average temperature continues unchecked, there will be a rise of 3 to 6 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. To understand the significance of this rise in temperature, let's consider one manifestation, which is the frequency of extreme heat waves. At a pre-industrial average temperature, these extreme heat waves used to happen once every 50 years. They now happen once every 10 years, and in a world that is 3 degrees warmer, they will happen every 3 to 4 years. These drastic changes can have extensive disastrous consequences. This video discusses some of the health impacts of climate change. 1. Extreme heat. Heat waves are deadly. The increase in their frequency means more deaths. One study attributed more than 1/3 of heat-related deaths to climate change. It is projected that without action, future warming will result in an additional 2,000 to 10,000 deaths every year in each of 209 U.S. cities. Exposure to heat for a prolonged period of time leads to loss of minerals through sweat. It also means that the heart has to work harder to pump blood. A combination of these two events can lead to strokes and heart attacks. Extreme heat can worsen pre-existing conditions. One example is serious kidney damage that can happen because of dehydration. The elderly and people with pre-existing kidney conditions are at greater risk. Additionally, pregnancy complications, including preterm birth, are associated with high temperatures. 2. The incidence and prevalence of infectious diseases. As the planet gets warmer, ticks and mosquitoes that like to live in warmer climates now live in a wider geographical region. This results in an increase in the incidence and prevalence of vector-borne diseases carried by these insects, such as Zika, dengue fever, malaria, and Lyme disease. Cases of dengue fever have doubled in the U.S. every decade since 1990, and now with shorter winters and earlier springs, the pathogen that causes Lyme disease has a wider window of activity. These insects historically remained in regions near the equator, but now you can find Zika in unexpected regions of the world with the warming of northern Europe and Canada. Additionally, the life cycle of mosquitoes can be impacted by changing conditions such as temperature and humidity, and there is evidence that this could increase the risk of mosquitoes transmitting dengue. Rising sea levels impair the quality of drinking water and impact wastewater treatment. The result is an increase in waterborne disease outbreaks, which has been reported for Legionnaire's disease and diseases caused by Vibrio species. Severe storms lead to an increase in the transport of pathogens that cause food contamination, such as Salmonella and noroviruses. 3. Food insecurity. Both the availability of food and the amount of nutrients in the food are impacted by climate change. Crop yields are beginning to decrease because of extreme heat events and rising temperatures. Plants can be less nutritious when zinc, iron, and protein are leached, which could be caused by the increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide. Fish stocks are also impacted by climate change. Many fish species migrate towards the poles of the Earth to escape the rising temperatures. This has significant consequences for communities that depend on fish as a source of protein in their diet. Many diseases are associated with malnutrition, such as impaired growth in children, as well as diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. As food gets more expensive, these effects will be most striking in low-income communities. 4. Drought and fires. Rising temperatures and drought lead to more frequent and intense wildfires. The 2018 wildfires in California were the largest in the state's history at the time, but are now third after the 2020 and 2021 wildfire seasons. These wildfires were a consequence of 5 years in a row of unprecedented heat. Serious health consequences result from the lasting air pollution that such fires cause, and climate change is further exacerbated by the huge amounts of carbon emitted by these wildfires. 5. Mental health. Climate change disasters take a huge toll on mental health. Many people impacted lose their homes, jobs, and even loved ones. This increases the incidence of post-traumatic stress disorder and even suicide. This can be seen with climate migrants in Bangladesh who had to leave their homes because of flooding, and in Californians impacted by wildfires. This distress related to climate change has been given its own name, solastalgia. This is a word that was inspired by the concept of nostalgia, which describes the sense of longing caused by being away from home. Solastalgia is the opposite. It describes the sense of hopelessness because of the unfolding changes to one's home and environment that feels out of control. The home that you are longing for is there, but it has been changed forever. It is important to understand that more than one of these health impacts can happen at the same time, and that they disproportionately affect poorer communities. These are the communities who cannot afford to avert the consequences of environmental change. These individuals could suffer the most severe mental health consequences. The good news is there is still time to act, and here is how you can help. Each one of us can make individual choices that could collectively reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This includes avoiding food waste, reducing beef and dairy consumption, finding alternatives to plastic, driving less, and flying less. Most importantly, you can help raise awareness about the impacts of climate change. If you would like to learn more about climate change, you might want to check out this short video that explains what a world that is 3 degrees warmer look like. You might also be interested in my other short video that explains how you can help with climate change. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and to share it with your friends. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and to turn on the notification bell to be notified of new uploads. Thanks for watching.